Welcome back to the news at 10. At least 9 people have been killed and 2 others injured by gunmen who stormed 2 communities in Rivers State, Nigeria's south-south region. A statement issued by the Rivers State Police Public Relations Officer, Mr. Ahmed Mohammed, says armed men went on a shooting spree in Obrikom and Obor communities. Mr. Mohammed says the initial death toll of 6 has risen to 9. He adds that the assailants also set ablaze the house of a local politician, Vincent Obogu, who is a state parliament candidate in the April 11 election. Obrikom and Obor are neighboring communities in Rivers. A curfew imposed in the state to contain unrest after the opposition disputed results from last weekend's general elections was lifted on Thursday. The government imposed a curfew after thousands of opposition supporters descended on the electoral office in the state capital, Port Harcourt, on Sunday and Monday to demand a rerun of the election. The president is asking Nigerians to be prepared to make sacrifices for the unity and political stability of the country. In his Easter message, President Goodluck Jonathan is also asking Nigerians to use the Easter holiday to reflect on what more they need to do to ensure that the ongoing political process is concluded successfully. Part of the statement reads, quote, "For Christians all over the world, the major lessons of Easter, which we celebrate this year in the midst of general elections in our nation, are to be found in the Messiah's divine love and glorious self-sacrifice for the redemption of mankind." End of quote. He adds that this year's celebration of Easter is taking place at a period of very critical national choices and decisions, during which the nation should be prepared and willing to make sacrifices for greater unity, peace, political stability, and progress of Nigeria. President Jonathan is happy that Nigeria has successfully scaled the hurdle of the presidential and National Assembly elections and is hopeful that the governorship and state assembly elections will also be conducted peacefully. The Federal Road Safety Corps has cautioned drivers against drunk driving, especially during the Easter festive period. The Corps Public Education Officer, Mr. Etuk Imo, told journalists during one of their routine checks that the FRSC intends to reduce road crashes during this festive period. Although there are no accurate statistics of drunk driving-related auto crashes in the country, records at the FRSC shows that over 1,000 lives are lost annually to road accidents.
Festive seasons are busy periods for motor parks and commercial drivers as passengers travel to see loved ones. According to the Federal Road Safety Corps, more road crashes are recorded during festive seasons. The Corps attributes this partly to drunk driving.
We want to focus on people that drink and drive. The Federal Road Safety Corps is saying that don't drink and drive. That's why we're taking the campaign to all the parks. We have started with Jabi, we are going to Area 3, we shall move around all the major parks in the Abuja municipal to ensure that people don't drink and drive. You can see we have done 2 tests now on drivers and we'll find that the alcohol level in their system is the permissible limit. In fact, as you say, it was 0.00. If it was 0.005 above it, then we say they cannot drive.
As part of efforts to reduce drunk driving, the Federal Road Safety Corps carries out this routine check on drivers to check the level of alcohol in their system.
This is a printout to his passengers because there's no alcohol in his system. Especially now that we are in the euphoria of the election result. The tendency is to be happy, be overjoyous, and drink and drive. But we're telling Nigerians, please, don't drink if you must be set to move on with your steering.
Apart from these checks, motor park operators say they educate their members against drunk driving and other habits that could constitute danger on the highway.
Every morning we are going to call drivers, give them lecture, no take drink, no drink. before you travel. No drink before you travel. Your life is better than this. That's how I do it. You are not allowed anybody to bring alcohol into garage. When you see them, you cover them and throw it. You catch that and go and throw it.
Although there is no accurate statistics of drunk driving related crashes in Nigeria, records at the Federal Road Safety Corps shows that over 1,000 lives are lost annually to road accidents. The FRSC says it will do all it can to reduce this figure.
When last did you engage in deliberate, regular physical exercise? Answering that question honestly could determine if you're 1 out of 3 people who are physically active as estimated globally by the World Health Organization, or you're 1 in 4 adults who is not active enough. Tonight on our Focus on Health, our correspondent Yomi Otaigbe looks at some physical activity moves and their health benefits.
Physical exercise is performed for various reasons, including strengthening the muscles and cardiovascular system, weight loss or maintenance, and sometimes just for relaxation.
Start with warm up, breathing, breathe out, breathing, breathe out.
This session focuses on general fitness.
Stretch sideways, 1. For everybody that wants to work out, you should see a doctor. Be sure that your health history is okay. Basically, there are different types of aerobic. There are dance aerobics, there are step aerobics, there are static aerobics, the one you don't have to even move. We started with arm movements, and aerobics on its own, when you're involving the arms, burns calories on your arms. Now let's work the hamstrings. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Arms out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now working on your love handles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the arm stretching sideways to now stretch out the love handles, which is your spare. We call it spare tires, but the real name is called love handles. Now you notice that when you do it, you're going to feel a maximal stretch on those sides, and it's the stretch that you do that you feel that will work. If you do a stretch that you do and you don't feel it, it means the aim is defeated. So people will say, oh no, I don't want my thighs to reduce. You don't want your thighs to reduce, but the muscles there need to be worked out. You need to work on those muscles to allow fitness, to allow blood movement. You need to work on the muscles, because once you're above 40, osteoporosis sets in, and if your leg muscles are not strong enough, you are prone to having an early osteoporosis. Osteoporosis means at a certain age of your time, when the bones start filing, they start getting dense, they start getting soft. So once you're 40, it starts getting soft. If you're somebody that is not a fitness, you've not been into fitness, it starts from 40. But if you've always made fitness a way of life, it slows down.
Now, if you have challenges with abdominal fat, here's how to deal with it.
So we are going to be doing crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for 10 count. 6, 7, 8, 9. Well done. If you need your tummy to be done, you need to work extra hard, especially after having children. You really need to work extra hard. Now, the abdominal exercises we do, you notice you'll be feeling pains, serious rib pains. Oh, my stomach is paining me. That is not the time to stop. That is not even the time to slow down. That is the time to even step up with the main stomach exercises. Now, garbage in, into your mouth, garbage out. You need to cut down on what you take. If you have a big tummy and you want to get it down, my advice, for 6 weeks, your dinner, I'm not talking about breakfast and lunch now, your dinner, make sure latest 7:30 you finish eating. And mostly, basically, what you're going to be eating as dinner is going to be fruit, veggies, or soups. Fruit, veggies, or soups. If you're eating your soup, don't take any swallow with it. Our normal ugu and water leaf, prepare it with stock fish. Make it with, add your pomo. You will enjoy it. It can be very filling.
Perhaps most people know the benefits of engaging in physical exercise, but fitting it into daily schedule might be the challenge.
Due to my work, I work Monday to Friday, so I only have Saturday and Sunday. Most of the time before coming, I don't even fly bike. So I do work. You can see me now, I'm working for my shade down, so that's what I do.
taking a walk, even from streets, sometimes is unnecessary. But taking sport and other things, that was when I was in secondary school. I don't do it anymore.
I do a lot of jogging in the mornings, and I do some push-ups at night before going to bed.
It's instructive to know that you don't have to get to a gym to be active. Having a brisk walk in the morning or evening or rope skipping may just be fine. Regular physical exercise boosts the immune system and could help lower your risks for heart diseases, type 2 diabetes and obesity. Yomi Otaigbe, reporting for Channels Television News.
Strategy. This is the viewpoint of leading economist Tilewa Adebajo, who spoke on our program Sunrise Saturday. The expert says expectations are high for the incoming government to improve the economy and also create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
On this instrument in 2010, when the economy was very stable, was about 6%. As of February this year, because of all the uncertainty, that same yield went up as high as 17%. By the end of this week, you could see an immediate interest again, and the yields on that instrument has dropped now to 14%. So apart from the effect on the local stock markets, the international markets have also welcomed this development in a very positive manner, and we're now going back to what we call business as usual, what things used to be like before the elections. So it's now very important that the president-elect articulate his policy direction to be able to sustain this same growth, this same investment over the next 4 years.
Markets all over the country are shut down for Easter celebrations. Market watchers are projecting that when the markets reopen on Tuesday next week, the central bank will react to the increase in liquidity seen on Thursday by holding OMO auctions next week. They also expect the NTB auction slated for Thursday next week will deter the liquidity in the system. A total of 144.55 billion naira worth of 91,182 and 364-day bills will be offered at the auction. Before the Easter break, average interbank rate was 14.39%, boosted by the central bank's retirement of 148 billion naira in mature treasury bills. While in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, the government has given the state a clean bill of health, saying that medium-term financial strategies have been put in place to address the shortfall from Federation account and the internally generated revenue. The State Commissioner for Finance, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, made the declaration at a press briefing held in Abeokuta, the state capital, against the backdrop of claims that the state is in financial mess as being peddled by members of the opposition party in the state. Well, that's it on Business News. I'm Anne Nwawadu Harriet to be back with the rest of the news at 10. Well, next on the news at 10, Kano Pillars crash out of the first round of the African Champions League. That's on Sports News. Please stay with us.